Every man is either stupid, useless, creepy.
Yeah, that's how they are.
I forgot how useless men are nowadays.
Men are useless.
Men is absolutely not a necessity.
Welcome back, guys. I got another video that I put together for all of us to see what feminism has done to women, what that movement has put in the minds of young women, late teens and early 20s, and how that behavior and that mentality is affecting them in their late 20s and their early 30s, and the drastic measures that they are forced to take in their 40s. But first, let's see this women's behavior and thinking in their early 20s. Let's get into it.
Do women need men?
No. Of course not.
No, fuck no.
We do not need them. Not at all.
No. We the problem.
Hell no.
Hell no. Hell no. Hell fuck ass no. Hell fuck ass no. We the new niggas.
We are the men these days.
No.
Honestly, no. No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Just because we have that independence now, and like now we know like we don't have to depend on a man to get the things that we need or that we want.
I'm so used to being on my own. I'm very good at being single.
I'm not looking for a man. Let's start there.
I forgot how useless men are nowadays.
Every man is either stupid, useless, creepy.
Yeah, that's how they are.
We don't need a man strictly for financial support or societal relevance. We kind of get to be whole people now.
Men is absolutely not a necessity.
If you have to do everything on your own, then what the fuck do you need him for?
Men are useless.
I don't need a man.
This kind of mentality is in their minds throughout their late teens and early 20s. High school and college, they are all exploring themselves, getting to know themselves, having fun, monkey branching, slipping around, feeling entitled. We don't need them in society. But something happens to them. Biology starts to kick in. They are ready to settle down. When they are done with their whole phase, men are not giving you relationships. They are giving you situationships, friends with benefits, or hookups. And many men are seeing the writing on the wall, and they're not even willing to give you commitment. Now you are in your 30s, and now you start seeing the results of that action. Let's check some of these women out.
What kind of world do we live in where a normal, regular girl cannot find just a regular guy out here to date?
Like, I genuinely just want love in my life so badly.
Never being in a relationship or even being single for a really long time. I'm 30 and I've never had a boyfriend.
Okay, I turned 40 this year and I've never been in love. I've never been in a relationship, and I've had no one ever ask me out on a date.
Accepting that you are most likely going to be alone for the rest of your life is a really hard pill to swallow.
I can actually do a quick Google search, women in their 30s, in their 40s, and in their 50s, and in their 60s. And you're going to find a ton of videos of women echoing what these women just say in this video. And what are women doing now that they realize that the possibility of them ending alone for the rest of their life is huge? They are now taking this drastic measure, which is freezing their eggs. And they're spending hundreds and thousands of dollars so that they could have the possibility of one day having a kid, which is something that they could have well done with a husband early in their 20s without having to go through all of these crazy procedures that we're about to see. Let's check them out.
So one important thing to know if you are thinking about freezing your eggs is, what does age have to do with it? And unfortunately, as we get older, the quality of our eggs declines.
No shit!
And what that means is that there's an increased risk of having a genetic or chromosomal abnormality, which will not lead to a healthy pregnancy. So it increases the likelihood of birth defects as well as miscarriage. And so at age 30, we've used about 90% of the eggs up.
Wait, can you just please say that one more time loud and clear?
We've used about 90% of the eggs up. At 40, you've used about 97% of your eggs, so you don't have much left, and thus that's why it's important to think about freezing your eggs when you're younger, because as you get closer to 40, you have less amount of eggs and you also have lesser high quality eggs.
I am 31 years old and I am not married.
I am single and I'm 30.
I have frozen my eggs 5 times because at the age of 29, I found out that I had a very low ovarian reserve. I'm 32 now.
Why I decided to freeze my eggs at 33.
It is official. I have decided to freeze my eggs. 35, single.
I started the egg freezing process. I did some preliminary tests It showed that my egg count is really low. I've been like crying the entire day. It feels very alone, lonely. I don't know. Like I just feel this giant pain in my stomach right now.
I froze my eggs at 36. Around 41, we decided to fertilize the eggs and none of them worked. Then I went to get my fertility measures checked, which I think everyone should do over the age of even 30. My fertility was dismal.
And what do all of these women have in common? Every single one of them was in her 30s. And by the way, this trend of freezing your eggs is going crazy in TikTok and also in YouTube. So big that even the news starts to pick up on that. Let's check it out.
Tonight in our continuing series, Facing Fertility, we take a closer look at an important decision a growing number of women are making. In 2020, more than 12,000 women froze their eggs, nearly double from 2016. A new study from NYU Langone shows the average age of a woman who freezes her eggs is about 38, and her chance of a live birth from those eggs is 39%.
So you mean to tell me that you women are paying hundreds and thousands of dollars for a procedure that is not even 50%? The chances of you ending a successful pregnancy is about 39%.
Whenever you're freezing eggs, you always have to remember that 14 eggs will not equate to 14 babies. I think it's very important for patients to look at egg freezing as another step to hopefully protect them for the future, but it's definitely not a guarantee.
In general, for women of all ages, 25 frozen eggs will lead to 1 live birth. Egg freezing can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a cycle.
How much hope were you given that freezing your eggs would lead to someday having a baby?
I think it was definitely hope because it's better than not having it at all.
Fertility doctors suggest educating women about reproductive health by their mid-20s because biological clocks tick faster than we think.
This starts to make perfect sense to me. The epidemic of loneliness in men is big, and women take advantage of lonely men. And men are paying hundreds and thousands of dollars in subscriptions in OnlyFans and also on dating apps. But I also see that women are being taken advantage of by these clinics who are pushing this agenda of freezing your eggs. This feminist movement, in my opinion, is taking advantage of you through all of your different stages of your life, from your 19s to your 20s to your 30s and also in your 40s. They are telling you that yes, come freeze your eggs. And guess what? I cannot guarantee you that this is going to be successful. Give me $5,000 to $20,000 and we're going to make sure that we can do the best that we can to hopefully, not guarantee, hopefully this can end up successful for you so you can get what you want. And they're finessing money out of women in the hundreds and thousands of dollars for a chance of a 39%. They are taking advantage of your desperation just like women taking advantage of the desperation of lonely men. This makes perfect sense to me. But there is one thing that you women do not understand about men when you are thinking about doing all of those things. And this matchmaker is about to explain to you and give you the hard truth as to why, even though you're freezing these eggs, it may not turn out good for you. Check it out.
So ladies, today we're going to have a hard conversation. All day long, I do these Zoom calls with many of you ladies when you fill out a premium profile for me. And many times when you are in your 30s, one of the first questions I ask you is, have you frozen your eggs? It's a difficult conversation to have with women, and you're not going to like a lot of things I'm about to say, but I got to say it because somebody's got to say it. But here is the ugly truth. The ugly truth is that these guys will date you and waste your time while they know they still have a lot of time, more time than you might have. So they're dating women 36 to 40, and this is what confuses you women because they're dating you, but then they're telling me, yeah. I'm like, so what's your age range that you're looking for a serious relationship? And they say, 28 to 33 or 34 at the oldest, they tell me. Because the bottom line is with these guys, they don't want to rush. That's what they tell me. And so if you are a woman who's 35, 36, heading towards 40, these guys, they're doing the math in their head and they're like, I want to date a woman younger. I want to date a woman younger because I want to have a family, but I don't have to rush.
Out of the 5.5% of females who watch my content, 1.8% of you are between the ages 18 to 35. And I'm going to give you some tips. Even though this is a men's channel, I create content for men, but I do have an 18-year-old daughter, and I'm about to tell you the things that I tell her. So this is going to be my public service announcement to you. I will suggest that you do not buy into the ideals of feminism, nor the agenda that that movement pushes.
I feel unbelievably betrayed by feminism.
It will bring you nothing but misery later on in your life. You are young, you're beautiful, and you're attractive, but that beauty and that attractiveness eventually will fade away, and you are going to regret missing that opportunity of having the family that you could have had had you not bought into this agenda.
For me, it's definitely started to feel hollow and meaningless. And, you know, it's taken me to this point in my life to realize that that's not a life that's going to bring you happiness.
And if you think that you are going to freeze your eggs spending hundreds and thousands of dollars for something that may not be successful because you want to pursue whatever the hell you want to pursue, just be aware that when you meet a man that you want to have a relationship with him, the chances of him not doing that with you is extremely high. And knowing the risk of you being an older woman, even though you froze your eggs, but the chances of that not having been successful is extremely high, we do not want to risk that. We are numbers game, and we are more analytical, less emotional. And I tell this to my daughter, I'm talking to you as a man and I'm talking to you as a father. Do not make this mistake in thinking that you might one day freeze your eggs and that you will one day are going to find a man that you're going to have a relationship with, because that man that you want is going to go for a younger woman. So those women who are doing this and hoping that one day they're going to find a man, just listen to what this matchmaker says and what men are telling her behind closed doors. They can date you, pump you and dump you. But when it comes to starting a family, they are going to go for the younger woman. In other words, you are just for the moment. It is a hard truth. It is a hard pill to swallow, but it is the truth. Men only put women in two categories, either the fun woman or the relationship wife woman. There's only two. You women have different categories for men. And for those of you men who are looking to establish a relationship and one day find a woman that you can have a family with, it is my personal opinion that a woman who freezes her eggs so that she could then plan for a family later on, it's a massive red flag. That's just my personal opinion. But if you want to go that route, be my guest, knock yourself out. But I will not recommend that for you. You need to watch your six at all times, guys. Be careful in your screening, and I'll see you next time.